on them.
Two fixtures on the road that I think would worry Spurs. Against Villa, their next fixture.
And against Chelsea.
And against Chelsea.
That's going to be a tough one.
Very tough fixtures. And last day of the season against Everton doesn't look like a guaranteed fixture for them to win also. But again, maybe because it's Everton. Because Everton, I think they have the resources to stay in the game. I think also part of what Tottenham are struggling with at this point in time is the mentality to stay in it as much as possible. Sometimes they can fight it and stay in the game for up to 30 minutes, but the moment they concede a goal, they start collapsing.
Yeah, they open up.
You see that the ability to fight back is always a problem, and that I think for me is a huge concern. If they can find their way around it, I think they will just be on course to start working their way out of the difficult situation. But 5 more games to the end of the season, is that the right time to start fighting it? Under the manager, in the last 2 games they've had under the man, they drew 2-2 against Brighton, and of course they lost to Sunderland 1-0. They lost to Nottingham Forest. I think the Nottingham Forest loss was before De Zerbi was given the job. It was the last job that Tudor was in charge of, and then De Zerbi took them to Sunderland. They lost that game 1-0. And then they were 2 goals up against Brighton. Brighton came back in the game, and was it 2 goals? I think they were ahead of Brighton. They were ahead 1 goal. Brighton equalized, and then Tottenham scored again in the 77th minute, only for Brighton to equalize in the 95th minute again. Last Sunday, I remember. And all of these things happened in the course of the game. But you're looking at Spurs now, you're thinking the game against Chelsea, the game against Aston Villa, these are very 2 difficult fixtures for them, because again, it depends on what happens today. You might be looking at a situation where if McFarlane is going to stay till the end of the season, he would need to rally the troops again and give them a bit of stability, a bit of new manager bounce. That's a stretch of about a month that he's going to stay on the job. So he would want to probably bow out on a high. So if he's able to rally the guys and get them firing like he did the last time when Maresca left the job, then you would say Chelsea will create more problems for them, because again, if truly the players actually down tools because they felt they could not work with Rosenior, maybe this is an opportunity for them to also pick things up again and give it a shot. And for Villa, who of course will be playing a game that they know that if we win this game, we have guaranteed Champions League football, while hoping that whatever happens in the course of the season in Europe, if we're able to get past the Nottingham Forest over 2 legs, we'll still stand a good chance of playing in the final of the cup competition and possibly winning it. Then I think that's where the problem is for Tottenham. Well, yes, let's go to the phone lines once again on the show. 090-44,889. Yes, which of this team is more likely to be relegated? Looking at the fixtures that they have, it is a 2-horse race right now after Nottingham Forest won last night to put away 8 points from Tottenham Hotspur and 6 points clear of West Ham United. The talks have once again come back into focus as we look at the team more likely to get relegated of the 2 teams that are in the race to beat the drop. Would it be West Ham United or would it be Tottenham Hotspur? 090-41,889, 090-44,889. Yes, the numbers to call to be a part of the show this afternoon. It's Football Live, and yes, not all the time we talk about title races. I mean, this is also a race, albeit there's no title for it. But at least you want to stay up in the Premier League, and that enough is a title. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Oh, sorry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling us from? Okay.
I want for you. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Hello. Please don't keep us waiting. You're following the show, huh? When you call in, make your contributions and let's hear from you. Good afternoon. Oladikon from Ikorodu. He says, I want West Ham United to stay up ahead of Tottenham Hotspur because of Declan Rice at Arsenal. I believe West Ham United will manage the remaining fixtures well than Tottenham Hotspur. Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
My name is Dan.
Dan, okay, let's hear you.
I want to make West Ham stay.
You want West Ham to stay? Why do you think West Ham can stay up?
Because they have quality players. Than Tottenham Hotspur. Because Tottenham Hotspur, most of their players they get injury.
Okay.
So I want to make it what I have to say.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that one. Well, the situation is, I mean, in hindsight now, it is looking as if De Zerbi should have said to the medical team, you know what, submit all the reports of all the players who are injured. Let's assess how soon they can come back before I take this job. But that would have meant asking for too much.
In fact, there was a news during this week that broke that the club put up advertisement for psychologists. That they said they need new psychologists in the club. And
how is that such a difficult thing to do? From this studio, I can recommend 3 or 4 in Europe for them that can get them out of that place.
Very being psychologists, so they put up another team. I think the manager said he doesn't think that the current psychologists who are there are doing a great job. Talking about De Zerbi, so I think he's proposing that they bring in new psychologists.
He didn't need to call them out that way. These are the issues, because again, I think in a sport where everyone is putting the work and everyone is doing it together, if you begin to say this is my side and this is your side, he doesn't think the psychologists are doing a good job. I don't think all of us would want to analyze it from a psychological point of view.
Yeah,
I know that the problem is a bit psychological, but I don't think it's 100% psychological. For a guy who's managed over 10 years, you want to say that he has a bit of what he should be able to teach other teams now to say, or teach players to say, okay, from a psychological point of view, this is how you can banish the ghost of whatever fears you have and approach the game and give it a go. But if we're having that conversation now about the coach, I think it is a concern on its own that, we're not sure what the man is going to bring, and is making it look like we might as well just employ a psychologist and leave the players to run around and not bother about paying the sort of money we hear that Tottenham Hotspur have put on the table for him that he's going to be earning. They'll probably make him the second highest earning coach in the Prem. So I don't think it's 100% psychological. If it was a psychological problem, we can as well just employ a psychologist and say, you know what, coach, stand back. We just found someone who can talk to these players and get them fired up, and that's all that is important as far as staying up is concerned. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Please, can I the people in the studio?
This is
Hello?
Victor and Femi.
Okay. Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
How are you this afternoon? Yeah.
Good.
This
Good.
is Mr. Rosenior. I'm calling
Okay.
from Onisha.
Okay.
Yeah, coming to Tottenham and the West Ham issue. Tottenham are not serious. I don't know if because of the players they bought, the kind of players they bought during this season. They are not serious. West Ham is more stronger than them. The way I'm seeing it too. Because when I've watched the two teams playing, the West Ham are not what do you call it? Tottenham are not doing anything. They are not serious at all, and I don't see them surviving this. I see them going down relegation. So why West Ham will survive it? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that one. He says he doesn't think Tottenham Hotspur will survive it. Rather, he thinks West Ham will be the team to survive relegation. 19 minutes of action decided already. Fulham nil, Aston Villa nil. Yes, early kickoff in the English Premier League, and I can tell you that it is a goalless affair right there. Alex Iwobi only can but watch from the stands, and he's right there, of course, I guess morally supporting the team, but not physically present with them and that is the only problem right now. He limped off last time out in the game they played against, I think, Brentford. Yes, on Saturday last week. He limped off in that game. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Tony.
Okay, let's hear you.
I am an Arsenal fan, and because of the rivalry between Arsenal and the Tottenham, we have they are our North London neighbors. So I would like them to go down, at least so that the rivalry will stop for some time before they will go and struggle and the championship, then come back before the rivalry continues. Even though I know that it's going to cost them because of their new stadium and everything, but I prefer them going down instead of.
I like this one. It's so straightforward.
Even though that West Ham still have bigger, tougher pictures for me, but these people, they are not serious. You can see. I can't remember the last time they won a game. This Tottenham. So I'm seeing them going down. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. I mean, I was going to say that when Leicester City first relegated 3 seasons ago, they thought it was a joke. They thought that, this was just some blip in our life. We'll go to the championship, we'll come back, and then we'll continue.
They have become used to it.
But now they are now in League One. So if Tottenham also relegate, they should be careful. They used to ram.
Look, just like I think, even though quality for quality, the moment you get relegated, you could lose your best players and all the rest. But just the same way, I think that the moment you get relegated, you are expected to adjust to life in the championship. Although the quality of players you have could give you the edge over others, but the stretches of matches you need to play would also be a problem. I'm not saying it is tougher, but I'm saying that you come up against people who just want to make sure they stop you even if they have to do anything. Physical tackles and all the rest and all the other things they have to do. There's no VAR in the championship and a host of other things that could happen sometimes. And I think just the same way we talk about teams in the Premier League, teams promoting from the championship to the Premier League to recruit well so that they can stay up, we also need to talk about how teams that are coming to the championship or getting relegated to the championship should prepare, in the sense that they're not going to have it that easy. First things first, especially when the shocker for them is the fact that they are going to lose some of the top players. And for a side like Spurs, they could end up losing almost everybody.
Yeah.
And that could be their biggest undoing. Because I don't see Van der Ven, Vicario, Kuti Romero, Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogie, what's his name now? Bentancur, Paulinho, Panini, I beg your pardon, Xavi Simons, what's this other guy now? Richarlison, Dominic Solanke.
How do you want to keep
all of these guys will play in the championship? Look, you might end up just selling them for some giveaway fees so that it doesn't sound like, okay, somebody somewhere is coming to take all of these guys away from you, and then if you have to let all of these guys go, you now have to recruit championship players,
yes,
because you will not be able to attract some of those guys that you would ideally have attracted if you had stayed in the Premier League. So if you're not going to attract the sort of guys who cannot get the job done for you, we're going to have a situation where you'll be thinking of, because we can attract some of these guys now, let's make do with what we have. It might come to a point where you recruit players in the championship as well to just help you get back up to the Prem. And then the second problem, I don't want to say double tragedy in this case, because you would have conquered one. If you gain promotion, you now have to start looking for how to ship out the dead woods and improve the squad by recruiting Premier League stuff that can keep you in the league as much as possible. So I think it's a big problem for a team like Spurs, and I honestly feel sorry for them. But I think one of the ways they can avoid all of these long routes that I have talked about is to make sure that they do everything possible
Not to relegate.
not to get relegated.
Yeah.
Yes, not to get relegated. If they don't get relegated, well, I think they can start fixing things. The upside is that they might now decide to say, okay, players will slash their salaries if they go to the championship, and then they might decide to sell some of those players. Selling those players could fetch them money, but the downside is to what end? Because again, you might have that money and not be able to recruit the quality that you need for you to advance to other levels. And good afternoon, Vicky on F1. Looking at the form of both teams, I think Tottenham will go down. West Ham might have a tougher fixture, but this Tottenham team has lost confidence. Please, Vicky, I think it's high time you should talk to please. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, we'll do that. We've actually been doing that. Okay, but we'll continue. Randy Osas from Spain. Thank you for that one. For your contribution. All right, we'll look at that and ensure that we are able to control it the best way possible. All right, let's go back to the games and let you know that it is 26 minutes and it is still goalless action in the Premier League. In Armenia, Alashkert are taking on Noah. Yes, it is goalless in that game, and I can tell you for certain that action definitely continues, and we are taking you right into the thick of it and serving you all about it the best way it should be. So yes, let's get right into it once again. Gunners, it's not over till it's over, and it's still Arsenal all the way. To celebrate this great season, Chivas Regal, the official whiskey partner of Arsenal FC, is giving away an official Arsenal jersey signed by Victor Gyökeres, Martin Zubimendi and Mikel Merino. Now here's your challenge. Build your ultimate five-a-side Arsenal FC team with any era of Arsenal players. The Invincibles, the Emirates era, the hybrid days. Mix it up. Be creative. Show us you know Arsenal. Drop your lineup in the comment section of the pinned post on the official at Chivas Regal NG page on Instagram and on X. The comment with the most likes wins the jersey. Hurry now and let's see who's a real gunner for life. I rise, we rise. Remember to drink Chivas responsibly. Almost half an hour gone. 27 minutes on the clock. It is Fulham nil, Aston Villa nil. And yes, we're talking West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur. The race for the relegation battle. Which of these teams is likely to stay up, as Nottingham Forest have pulled further away from the relegation conversation. And it is further looking like a two-horse race between West Ham and Tottenham. But which of these two teams do you think has what it takes to stay up? In other championship games, Middlesbrough lead 1-0 against Watford. Charlton Athletic are already 1 goal ahead in the game against Hull City. And yes, of course, West Bromwich Albion against Ipswich Town. It is still goalless after 28 minutes. All eyes are on these two guys now. Now, 39 points have been enough to survive in the past 15 seasons in the Premier League. But even though they have 39 points, I think they still need to push a bit further for it. Is 39 points enough to keep you up? Yes. But you have to work on the basis that anything is still possible. You are asking Tottenham Hotspur to win 4 games. Is that going to be possible? We don't know. Back-to-back wins and all that changes. Mathematically, 8 more points ensures next season with the Forest their fifth consecutive campaign in the top flight. In theory, Tottenham could finish at 46 points, but would require them to win all 5 of their final games. Forest remaining league matches are against Chelsea, Newcastle, Man United and Bournemouth. Now let's not even go away from the fact that Nottingham Forest might have done the job to move 8 and 6 points clear respectively of Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham United, but it's not home and dry yet for them because of the quality of fixtures they still have. They have Chelsea, they have Newcastle, they have Man United and they have Bournemouth.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is also putting into consideration that though they are 8 points ahead, if Tottenham win all their remaining games and they don't win any of their remaining games, it throws them back in the relegation conversation.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does for them.
But can Tottenham even do that? That's the problem.
The thing.
Because
So,
for sure, the Tottenham that's going to show up in
I mean,
next
as
game.
I said it before, that Tottenham are a side that I cannot, I can't guarantee anything on. They don't lose any confidence for me to say, oh, I think they might be able to do this or be able to do that, because in the real sense, when you see what they are doing, they don't. I mean,
Inspire confidence.
They don't inspire any confidence. There's no. I mean, some managers will even come and you will enjoy new manager bounce. Nothing is bouncing, and so I think that. So Nottingham Forest have tough fixtures. Let's be sincere. They have Villa, they have Chelsea, they have Villa again. Those are in the Europa League anyways. But in the league, they have Chelsea, they have Nottingham, they have Newcastle, they have Man U, and their last game is against Bournemouth. So all of these fixtures are tough for them, because for Bournemouth also, Bournemouth are like a side that might be looking to go to Europe also, and the last game of the season might be that game that might cement they are going to Europe. So I can understand if that game is going to be tough, but let's be sincere. That win yesterday against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light could be the most important win for them. That win could be the most important win for them, because I mean, at the Stadium of Light, I didn't even think they were going to get a win. I think what they are probably going to get from that game would have been a draw. But they didn't just get a win. They got a convincing 5-goal win. 5 goals win. In first half, they scored 4 goals in the first 45, and the second 45 they have to add more to make it 5 goals. So for me, I think that they are doing themselves a whole lot of good. They play against Chelsea. Chelsea, depending on the Chelsea that will turn up in that game is 2 weeks from now. Depending on the Chelsea that will turn up, we don't know. But if it's still the same Chelsea and all of that, they can fancy a draw against Chelsea. Chelsea are where they are right now. They're not invincible. You can actually stop them. If you can actually get 1 point from them, that's good. You have Villa also. You have Newcastle also. You are playing at home. Nottingham Forest are playing at home against a side like Newcastle. For Newcastle, they're also not in great form too. You can also pick a point from them too. You have Man United. Well, maybe Man U can defeat you, because United are also looking to consolidate on their top 4 finish and all of that. And then you have Bournemouth in your last game. Bournemouth can also probably defeat you too. But in all of this, you have a very inconsistent team behind you. And let's even be sincere, Tottenham are not even the one backing. They're not even the one behind Nottingham Forest. The team that's behind Nottingham Forest is West Ham United, and West Ham United currently, as it stands right now, they're out. They're just 17th on the log. They're out of that place. All they need to do is pick points here and there, win where you can win, pick 1 point where you can pick, and all of that. For Tottenham Hotspur, now that's not to say that Tottenham Hotspur cannot also pick points here and there. The problem is the mentality. They don't, like you said earlier on, they can't stay in game for too long. When last week Saturday, myself and OG were here when they were playing Brighton and Hove Albion. They started like a house on fire, and at some point they crumbled. And even just when you thought the game ended, when that game immediately Brighton got the second goal that made it an equalizer for Brighton, you could see the disappointment in the face of everybody. You could see that they had given their all, and that is you not even switching. If when you have not even switched into gear 2, you have given your all already, then imagine when the going gets tough, what do you do? So for me, I don't believe that they have what it takes to deal with these problems and find solutions to some of the things that's currently going on with them. So for West Ham, for Nottingham Forest, I think that what they have to do is quite straightforward for them. It's quite straightforward for these teams.
Okay, let's of course get back into the conversation right here on the show. Yes, 090-41,889, 090-44,889. Let's go. This one says, Tosin from Doha says, has Chelsea a tough match for Forest? Laughing out loud. Well, it is expected. I mean, maybe because you are still looking at it with the Rosenior eye. Things might change. You never know.
Might change.
This one from Elder Noah from Ajay says, I did laugh anyone who thinks Arsenal will not end as runners of this year. That's not exactly what we're talking about, Noah. We're talking about West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur. Please, let's focus on the topic and discuss what we have in front of us as far as today's edition of Football Live is concerned. Okay, yes, we're looking at West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur, and the injury concerns also is something that we could look at. Tottenham Hotspur, we've looked at their fixtures, we looked at that of West Ham United as well. In 6.5 minutes, West Ham United of Forest actually went one up and capitalizing, taking it up to 4-0 against the Sunderland in the first half already, and things definitely looking good for them in that game. So who will be relegated from the Premier League? Yes, who will be relegated? What now is for Spurs and West Ham United? While Nottingham Forest, struck the blow of the weekend on a Friday, Tottenham and West Ham United, unusually, they both play on same time. Yes, they play on same time on Saturday. It's going to be 3 p.m. today. The Hammers host Everton, and former manager David Moyes with the Spurs, of course, visiting already relegated Wolverhampton Wanderers. So yes, Tottenham Hotspur boss De Zerbi, whose side considered the last-minute equalizer to draw 2-2 against Brighton in his previous fixture, said a win can change this part of the season. We are suffering because it's not easy to play in Tottenham Hotspur in these conditions of the table. But I said they have to be stronger. Yes, he said they have to be stronger. We have to leave every part of the day waiting to win and preparing for a win. Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham United have to contend with similar run-ins. And for Tottenham, arguably facing a slightly easier of the two. Yes, Spurs are actually facing a slightly easier of the two. The average position of the teams they still have to play is 11th, while of course for the Hammers the average position is it is 10th. With West Ham, what would West Ham do to have which Tottenham do not? However, yes, some semblance of form between the two sides, and there are concerns about what the season could hold for them. But let's of course go to other games right now. Brighton women have come from 2 goals down, from a goal down against Manchester City women. They now lead 2-1 in that game. 37 minutes in the Premier League. Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0, as action continues right there in the Premier League. Ludogorets, yes, they trailed 2-1 against CSK 1848 Sofia. That game right there, Ludogorets trailing. Chengdu Rocheng, yes, in China, they lead against Jiang Professional by 3-0. Benji Guan against Tianjin Tiger. It is goalless after 33 minutes. Shanghai Port against Wuhan 3 Towns is still goalless after 8 minutes of that game. And yes, just the latest about these fixtures are coming your way on the show. We're still talking Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham United. Which of these two sides you think can still stay up, and your reason for thinking that way? Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell me how this is.
Welcome.
This is Ademi calling from Korea now.
Okay.
You see, what I would like to say is that if Tottenham can possibly get a win today at away, if they can get a win today, then the motivation will not come that, wow, they have done this away. They will make the next match to be their home. So they will just buckle up. But if they can't get a win, they are those that are very relegated. They should just forget about it. But if they can win today away, I believe they will. Because the West Ham, I don't really trust West Ham. Even though I'm really surprised me yesterday. I can't believe that. I was watching that game before, like this 1, 2, 3, 4. First half, I was like, wow. So the Nottingham really coming to this party. I believe of this season. So if Tottenham can win today, I believe they will still win. And I think they can do that too. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you so much for that one. He believes that if West Ham can at least win today, they will escape relegation. They will escape relegation. I think whoever wins today and the other loses is going to be a blow for the other team. Thinking that the people who are in the same race with are already edging us, and we have to do our very best to make sure we stay in it as much as possible and not give room for any gap. I think like it is in the La Liga race that we've seen this season, it wasn't because Barcelona, made Madrid look too easy to play against, and it was just a case of Madrid not taking advantage of the opportunities that were available to them, and that's why they are stuck in this place where they are right now, because drop points in games they were not supposed to drop points, especially the draws that they had in between Champions League fixtures and post-Champions League fixtures. Where those were the undoing for Real Madrid this season, as far as the title race is concerned. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me ask you.
Welcome.
Wilson on the line.
Welcome, Wilson.
I think it will be difficult for Tottenham to qualify for that Champions League. Sorry, to survive that Premier League, because I think they still have team against Chelsea, and both of them are fighting for something. Chelsea fighting for Europe, and then Tottenham fighting to survive relegation. And West Ham, on the other hand, they have game against Arsenal, which is a must win for Arsenal. Maybe that will be a joy for Tottenham Hotspur if they keep on winning their own game. But the way that thing is collapsing, sometimes I don't understand. I don't blame them anyway because of the injury of Madison, Kudus, and the other guys. So, for me, I don't think Tottenham will survive that. If you say they are having draws or winning games, I would have said maybe they can survive, but they're not winning. And no matter how it is for West Ham, sometimes they manage to get draws. For Tottenham to get that draw until last week before they managed to get that 2-2 draw. So for me, I don't think they will survive this relegation. They will go down. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that one. He says surviving relegation would be a tough one for them, and he doesn't see them there. Femi, 42 minutes of this game played already. Typically two teams who have nothing to lose. Looks like that's the kind of fixture we're seeing here.
Yeah, for both sides, Fulham and Aston Villa. I mean, you go and check them on the table. One of them is third. If he wins, he gets 1 point. But if he draws, he gets 1 point. If he wins, also you probably get 3. He gets 3 points, and he'll be good where he is. Talking about Villa, I think that the agenda for Villa is quite simple: finish top 5, and you're good. There's no, you don't have to die, to win. Just finish top 5, you're cool. Looking at the fact that Chelsea, who could have probably been the biggest, chaser, is actually already not even chasing anybody. They are currently 8 on the log, so there's no problem. For Fulham, I think that maybe they had hopes of European places, maybe the Conference League or something, because and Fulham has scored.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go. They probably were just waiting for us to talk about it then. Ryan Rosenior is the man who's put the Cottagers ahead in the game against Aston Villa. And, overload one side and give the wingers the opportunity to run down the channel. It was a cross, and it was down to the back post. It was rebounded, but onto the path of the onrushing guy. And he just tapped it past Emi Martinez into the back of the net. It is 1-0 Fulham lead in this fixture. And that, of course, I can tell you certainly right now. With this goal, Fulham have moved to 10th.
Yeah.
Yes, they have moved to 10th on the log, pushing Everton to 11th, and Sunderland to 12th, Crystal Palace to 13th, Newcastle to 14th, and that's what it says right now. But Aston Villa, yes, themselves, they are still 4th on the log. It will take a win from Liverpool today against Crystal Palace, if it ends this way, that is, for Liverpool to go ahead of them.
Because even have better goal difference.
Yes, they have better goal difference, and Liverpool would now go ahead of them if they win today. And that's also assuming this game ends this way. Then we can talk about Aston Villa putting themselves in a place where it is the final slot that they will have to embrace, or maybe just focus on the Europa League and ensure they win it, while 5 teams, of course, in the Premier League can focus on qualifying automatically for a place in the UEFA Champions League next season. More contributions coming in. 090 41889, 090 44089. Yes, 44089 is where you can make your contributions, whether by call or WhatsApp. 090 44089. And yes, let's hear from you. In the La Liga, the game between Alaves and Mallorca has started. 13 minutes on the clock. It is goalless. Eyüpspor against Gaziantep is also on in the Turkish Super League. Right there, yes, these are the games. No scoreline, no goals recorded just yet in those games. Shanghai Port in the Chinese Super League have taken the lead. Yes, they have taken the lead against Wuhan 3 Towns in that game. Yes, it is 1-0 right now. But I can tell you that Rosenier's goal separates Fulham from Aston Villa in that game. 1-0 the scoreline. We are in the 45th minute, and only 1 minute has been added. Only 1 minute has been added in this game. Yes, 1 minute added to this one, and we'll see where this is going to go. Well, let's go for more calls on the show this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
I'll see you guys in the studio. My name is Martin. Okay, so the topic you guys are talking about is Tottenham and West Ham. Hello?
Okay, go on.
Okay, so well, I think one will definitely be relegated, and it's probably the Tottenham because they are in a worse form than West Ham. So that's just my take. I think they are going anywhere next season. They are definitely going to the championship. So,
all right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much as well for your contribution. It's halftime in that game. Fulham lead at halftime, 1-0 against Aston Villa. Questions around how strong they will finish and what's definitely going to happen. These and lots more to this edition of Football Live. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And yes, there'll be more to talk about as the action, all of it, unfolds on Football Live. We're bringing you all the talking points. These and lots more when we come back on the show. Stay with us.
Come to our site and get funky.
Get funky.
Funky.
88.9 Brilla FM.
Your eyes on the road. Your foot on the gas. And your hands off the radio. Got it? Good.
Hey, sport fans, where you? More ways to take enjoy and package sport informate as you day on the go. Now to follow us on top our social media platform and website as it dey hot. Breaking news we day. Live update with full ground. Transfer gist and confirmed gist with all the betterlicious analysis where they inside sports. Now we deserve like hot cake. Sharply follow us on top Twitter and Instagram at Brilla FM 889. For Facebook, follow Sports Radio Brilla FM. Come still visit our website, wey be www.brilla.net. Make you no miss anything as we carry on closer to the action.
This is the home of sport. Sports Radio, 88.9 Brilla FM.
Breaking news straight to your phone. Brilla Media is now on WhatsApp. Follow our official WhatsApp channel for the latest sports news, talking points, live updates, and in-depth coverage of sports events in Nigeria and around the world. From international tournaments to national teams, athletes, and exclusive stories, if it's sports, it's on Brilla Media. To join, simply go to WhatsApp channels on your device, search Brilla Media and tap follow channel. No stress, no delays, just sports as it happens. Brilla Media, home of the fans.
And now in news from the world of football, reports are surfacing that last year's changes to the UEFA Champions League may have come from a surprising source.
Here we go. Sources close to me are saying that Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been telling people the idea for the new format was all his idea.
Zlatan, last year we saw your announcement of the new format at the UEFA Champions League draw, and you were great.
Yes, I know. Zlatan is only here to help.
Okay, enough. You have to stop telling press and everyone else that we are making change.
of course, let's take you even closer into it as we look at more talking points on the show today. Now, Chris Sutton believes that his old club Chelsea have a lot to fix after the sacking of Liam Rosenior this week. Rosenior was sacked following a dire run of results that saw the Blues win only one of their last 7 games, with their only win coming against the relegated League One side Port Vale. The Blues had also gone 5 straight league games without scoring for the first time since 1912. And it didn't look as though Rosenior had any idea how to fix the clear issues. A 3-0 defeat to European rivals Brighton proved the final straw. And just hours after Tuesday night's defeat, Rosenior was sacked less than 4 months into his time at Stamford Bridge. I know there's been a lot of back and forth as to whether we should blame the players or the coach or the owners. Everything has been said, or maybe almost everything. With Liam Rosenior, the 5th manager to get the sack at Chelsea since the Blue Coat guys took over. What should Chelsea urgently fix? What should Chelsea urgently fix? I mean, whether you're starting from now to the end of the season or using the summer to fix that, what is their most important priority? What should they prioritize and urgently fix as far as getting back to what it used to be is concerned? Again, in hindsight, I thought about it then to say that it didn't make any sense for you to fire a guy like Maresca, who had done all of that work and had put Chelsea in a place where it looked like the players were playing for him. He had won 2 trophies and things were looking good. Maybe even if he fell short, they probably would be in the top 4 conversation now. And then, even if they get knocked out of the Champions League, you probably say, okay, he would use this year to understand a few things and then try to re-strategize. If he gets the right backing next season, he would recruit the right kind of guys and then go all out to probably contest for the title. But I think, yes, they made a mistake firing the guy. I wasn't there when the conversations were held. Maresca, of course, is yet to talk about anything. Club owners are not forthcoming with anything. Hopefully we'll hear about that in the future. That is, if Maresca did not sign an undisclosed agreement not to say anything in the future. At least we know that things like this can actually happen. But looking at how things stand at the moment, what do Chelsea, what do they need to urgently fix from now to the start of next season? Femi.
Okay, talking about fixing, I think that my first point of analysis will come from the project itself. You can't fix anything outside of your project. And so if I were able to see the Blue Co, which is the hierarchy of the club, and say, and have a talk with them, have a conversation with them, the first question I'm going to ask is that this project of yours that you were pursuing since the time of Enzo Maresca, Liam Rosenior, and now we have Callum McFarlane, who is just going to be there on the interim basis, depending on whatever you want to do with him. Has the project failed? Because we can really, the only time where we can have real conversation is when we are being honest. A lot of people might believe that the manager that was there before Liam was a bad manager, and so some people might say it's not the project, it's the manager that was there. But we can always, spin the blame around to different quarters, the hierarchy of the club, the players, and also the manager. But at the end of the day, the box, they say, stop at the table of the owners of the club. And so if I had an opportunity to, talk with them, have a chit chat with them, the question I'm asking is, has this project failed? Because if it fails, and if you agree that it has failed, that is when we can then sit down and talk about what should be the next step. Now, the old squad itself, the Chelsea squad itself, do we have excellent players there? Absolutely. for the status of Chelsea as a club, can you progress with that team as a whole and say you want to challenge for the biggest title? No, because these guys, some of them lack experience. Some of them have not played in the Premier League before. Gittins has been in Chelsea from the beginning of the season till now. I don't think he's played up to 10 games. I don't think he's played up to 10 games. And that was a man that was brought in to say, you know what, you are going to be a player for us. You are going to play. I mean, you are a player. Estival has done well. He's had few flashes here and there and all of that. But he's a young player. You can't build the core of your team on someone like that. You have the likes of what's it called, Romeo Lavia and co. Now, these guys are not bad players in his entirety. In fact, I would say that a player like Trevor Chalobah has even been more stable for them this season in terms of defensively and all of that. But at the end of the day, when you look at the squad, when you look at the players that this team have, you have a lot of potentials. A lot of potential that you are hoping that in future they are going to become a thing for you. There's a reason why teams send their players on loan. Chelsea used to do this before. Chelsea used to, a lot of these players who are starting for Chelsea, most of them will be sent on loan on a good day. And what you're probably going to do at the end of the day is bring one few of them back in, and see what they can contribute to the team. Some of them will probably not even be starters. But Chelsea have potentials as starters. And so you begin to then make excuses for them and say, oh, the team is gelling together, the team is growing and all of that. And I agree with you. Maybe the manager who probably could have done the job for them was Enzo Maresca. Because it looks like the player respected him or respects him and they wanted to play for him. What you could have done was listen to what he had to say, which is the hierarchy. To say, you know what, you need few more experienced players. How do we fix that? For a club as Chelsea, you have to be able to balance it. Balance is key. You cannot put a team that has... You cannot want to pursue a proper title and what you have is Garnacho, Pedro Neto. You can't. I mean, these guys... Again, I'm not always somebody who sits here and say, oh, this guy is a bad footballer. Because at the end of the day, to get to a certain level of football, you've put in some sort of work. Playing at Chelsea is not a joke. Chelsea seeing you and saying we want to sign you is not a joke. Do we have bad signings? Yes. In fact, do we have bad signings that have played in a club and gone to another club and they were good signings? Yes. It just means that environment was not suitable for you to exist, and then you've gone somewhere else and you've existed, you've played there and you've been good. And so for me, Chelsea's next solution is balance it. But the only reason why they can agree to that balance is if they think or if they agree that there's something wrong with this project. I know that a few days before the manager was sacked, Egbeli, one of the owners of the club, was saying, oh, we are going to bring in more experienced player and also tweak something. That is to say that they understand that something is wrong with that project. Because if you were with a club like Brighton and Hove Albion, you can give them this project idea. Maybe they would not even argue with you. Maybe the fans would just look and say, okay, no problem. I mean, that's where we are. But it is Chelsea. The team, the fans want to win. See, whatever business idea that you have at the back of your mind that is making you make those decisions, fans don't care. Especially fans who pay ticket money, who pay money to come and watch you. They don't care. If you are declaring your game, you don't give them money. Do you declare your game and say, oh yeah, fans, so now take $2 million there, I'm gonna use and do Salah? No, it doesn't get to them. What gets to them, what the fans enjoy from you is the trophy, is the wins. That is their own so-called
the fact that you can even stay in the conversation as possible.
That is what they enjoy from it.
I mean, sometime in February or thereabouts, we were talking about Chelsea being in the title race after the draw against Arsenal.
Yeah,
the 1-1.
Yeah,
and before we know it, here we are discussing how the points gap between the two sides and what has happened between them and. I think really they've got to look at a whole lot of things. I think bringing in another manager is the easiest route, is the easiest thing you can do, but that for me does not feel like how you want to get the job right. Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League and was fired as soon as the guys took over. Graham Potter came, Potter was fired after that. Pochettino, let's not even mention the interim guys in Sato and Lampard. But of course, Pochettino came, stayed an entire season ended, he was told to go. And then Maresca came, finished one season, started another, and he was told to leave. No, he didn't finish one season, did he? No. Did his first season, and at some point he was told to leave. And then, of course, what else happened? There was the case of Liam Rosenior. 4 months only in charge, and then
after giving him 5 years contract.
Yes, he gave him a 5-year deal, and 4 months into it, he said, "Okay, you can go now." I think if you are handling a project where the reaction from the fans tells you what to do and who to fire, then maybe you should listen to an informed section of the fans, an informed section of the fans who can tell you this is this, this is this, this is this. Because it is generally admitted or generally agreed in most quarters that the Americans, they have no knowledge of how the game is run. Business is business everywhere in the world. I do not want to believe that they are bad at the business or they are bad with football.
I mean, American owners are the one in charge of Liverpool.
I mean,
the FSG. Yeah. The Americans.
Man United, Arsenal, it goes on and on. So I do not think these guys are really bad at it, especially with the way they talk about it and try to. I think it is the strategy and the project they are putting forward where every youngster who's making waves is the guy you want to bring in, and you do not look at the fact that if we are focusing on youngsters, we are deviating from winning trophies.
Yeah.
Would everybody be comfortable with that because of a business model we're trying to introduce? I think that's definitely going to be difficult. And if that's the case, then you are thinking to yourself that, again, I can understand the whole idea of, yes, you could win trophies and win the Champions League and win the Premier League, and you say you've been able to rake in, say, 300 million euros. But you could sell a Fernandes, for instance, and sell a Cole Palmer and make more than that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's also the plan, but there are aspects of the plan that you cannot control. You will not be the man in charge of. You can say this is how much you value your players for. But if those players are also going to leave the team, it puts you in a very difficult place because you'll be looking for the same quality to balance it out and say, okay, you know what, let's do it like this, let's do it like. Even for a side like Brighton, who started such a thing and go to the less heralded leagues to look for unrefined talents and take a gamble on them, under Hozala they've done about 300 million, and they've not popped in the way a lot of people expected them to.
Yeah.
So it is now looking like it's not always going to work just because you think you have a model that is looking really good. Let alone for a Chelsea side who have always been in contention for something, and you cannot go 2 seasons back to back without winning a trophy, and then that's not the standard at Chelsea. So I think it's all encompassing in the sense that they have to address some of these problems. But again, bring on the guy who has the experience, who would want to say, you know what, first things first, let's fix a culture in place. Not just a guy who comes in and today he's a motivational speaker, tomorrow he wants to throw the players under the ball. So, I mean, when I heard things like, oh, they were protecting the ball, the referee messed with the huddle, the players were supposed, that game against Newcastle. That for me was where I started having second thoughts about, because personally I said, as long as a black man is in charge of any club, I'll be there. Trust me. Call it a sentimental thing or whatever you think, but it no matter than my sentiments. So the moment he started prioritizing things like that, and we're talking about protecting the ball, and the referee was not supposed to be there, he interfered with the team spirit, and I felt he was hammering on the things that were not as important. And then when the team lost the last time, you said the performance was disgraceful. You said, for a bunch of guys I felt were not really on your side, for you to have said the performance was disgraceful was you calling them out straight up. And it's not a bad thing to call people out, but especially when we all have a responsibility to get the job done, and you know that everyone is on your side, maybe calling people out is the easiest job. Yeah. But when you do not have everybody on your side, your job is to make sure that the job is going the way everyone expects it to go, first things first, before we now talk about if you have everyone on board and if you have the backing of the entire team or the board. But again, I think they have seen from the mistake that they made that Rosenior was not the guy, and that they were trusting him too early with all of that experience and hoping that he was going to pilot the affairs of Chelsea. There is nothing in Rosenior that I saw that made me think that at some point Guardiola was going to grow out of him. I've had this conversation with people in the past where years ago, maybe as far back as 2013, something happened in a game and I said, a boy dreams what a man does. I was showing him a picture and he said, don't worry, this is still a boy, he's going to grow to be like this. I said, look, is it that I think you don't really understand that talent can actually have ceiling.
Yeah.
There's a certain level your talent cannot go past, no matter how hard you work.
Yeah.
You can work hard and then be good at something and then sustain that. But when it comes to conversations about, I had somebody say something the other day and it was very funny. The person said that Beto, the striker for Everton, is the Nicholas Jackson of the laps. The strikers of the laps quality, he is the Nicholas Jackson amongst them. A guy who's a tad better than that quality. Right? In a group where you have strikers of the laps quality, he is a Nicholas Jackson who is a tad better than all of that lot put together. So I think you just look at some of these sort of statements and you say that, okay, this person is this person in this class. And like you'd say, a Declan Rice is a Messi of the Hendersons. Those are his kind of players. Even though I think sometimes that when conversations about Declan Rice and other people, when it comes to comparison, you compare him to DMs, you compare him to attacking midfielders, you compare him to number 10s. I think it is unfair on him. But I think he's just a Messi of Jordan Henderson's. And that for me is enough. All of this wanting to do the extra. You're just pushing people to give what they do, what they cannot give. Especially when you are seeing that, okay, it is coaching that's going to bring out this thing in you. I'm not sure. I think I've seen Yamal for like 2.5 or 3 seasons now. All those things where they do, you want to talk to a coach, they teach them.
Maybe coach you. You can't coach some things now.
So when you see that they emphasize on how hard work can take you to, there's a lot hard work can do for you, especially when you have to change some aspects of your game or minimize some things that you usually do that are affecting you. But when it comes to coach has to coach you to do some certain things and do some I can't count how many times I've had to say these things, but again, as a rule, I don't argue. If I tell you what I think and you do not think it is something you can put up your point against, but you want us to go back and forth and raise dust, you're on your own. But I think that with what we have seen from these guys, first they need a culture reset. And the kind of manager who's experienced enough to walk into that dressing room and put everyone on board to first things first, see the vision, and then they can set their non-negotiables to say, this is what is good enough for Chelsea, this is what is not good enough for Chelsea. Would there be losses? Yes, some of those players will go. All of that talk of Bino Gittins and Hanacho and the money they came for, no. Even what's his name, Pedro Neto, I think he started doing numbers that were impressive enough for us to say, okay, he's now getting 6 goals per season. He wasn't getting those at Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah,
he wasn't. So in terms of the profiling, it didn't even make any sense in the first place that a guy who wasn't doing 10 league goals
was coming to
the
Chelsea,
guy you were bringing to Chelsea. And trust fans, after a while, the moment your club is interested in the player for the transfer window, you go backstage and you start viewing some of the videos. You start convincing yourself that
I don't know people. I don't think I've ever done that before. I don't think I have the time.
It gets to a point people start convincing themselves
to go and be watching videos
and be telling themselves that it's not as bad as they say.
And that is why some people would want to go and their team would want to sign a defender and they are not checking what his clearance or what he can do defensively. They are checking his passes from the back. They're saying, can he pass well from the back? I understand that the game has changed these days, and so your ability to be able to use the ball as a defender is also very important. But that is not his main job. His main job is can he be a good defender? You're not looking at that.
He should defend.
And that's his main job. And you're saying, oh, he can play out and he can launch pass. I think, what are you doing? Maybe I'm too traditional when it comes to this football thing, but I just just do the normal thing. Just do what you are here for. And you said something when you said oh my God, I think it skipped my mind now. You said something about the players and how some of the hierarchy needs to understand that you need to bring in a manager who understands the culture and all of that. Like you said, see, the players can your talking can only get somewhere.
Yeah.
The intentionality from the player also is very important. Number one. Number two is that you cannot give what you don't have.
See, two things and two examples that we can relate with. Carrick knew that there was a reset to be done, both psychologically and on the pitch. He had to respond in such a way that people said, "Oh, why did we keep this man for so long?" Ruben Amorim, when the easier decision would have been to bring on a Carrick long before now and set us on this path. Whether that would have worked out is a different conversation entirely. But when he came, he focused on what was in front of him and getting it right. The results did come, and United rose from where they were to, if you have the table anywhere close to you, you can look it up. They are third. Now, compared to a Rosenior who had too many things to say, the sort of things you hear managers say in pre-season were the things he was saying at the with the halfway the season gone. I felt he was trying to be too motivational, too much of a figurehead that the players can look up to. I don't have anything against him, but I don't think he's done enough in the game for the players to say they look up to him. Right? Because
let's not even talk about that.
Do you understand?
His demeanor in games, when he's on the touchline.
In most cases, these players go back to their national teams and they play with coaches who have, whether you like it or yes, some of them are World Cup winners in that team. Enzo, for instance, who of course has played with Messi and the other guys, and he's just thinking to himself, what's this guy? Especially when you come to such a place when, again, managing the egos of the players would be the most important thing, rather than making everybody believe that, oh, I am your new teacher. Is it that you saddle up?
And that's why I always give this example anytime I'm having this sort of. I say that when a man begins to tell your wife, "Do you know I'm your husband?" You don't lose him now.
You don't lose him.
You don't lose him because you don't need to tell your wife say that you be the husband. She's supposed to say, "Nah, my husband be this." So as a coach, if you're telling them that, "Do you know I'm your boss?" Or I'm the boss here. You know it's so calm. You imagine Pep going into suggestion and then that do you know I'm your coach. And then he has lost it.
There's no need for that.
There's no need for that.
090-41,889, 090-44,889. What is the most important thing that Chelsea needs to fix as they look at life after Liam Rosenior? Yes, it is what we're talking about. With Liam Rosenior, the fifth manager to get the sack at Chelsea, what should Chelsea urgently fix? Yes, is what we're talking about at this time. 090-41,889, 090-44,889. 44,889, I beg your pardon, that's the number that's currently working. Yes, of course, try to reach us on that line and let's take your thoughts. In the meantime, let's check out the results from the grounds and let you know that Lashgate against Noah is still goalless. Ayubspor against Gaziantep is goalless. Mallorca lead 1-0 against Alaves, 45 minutes on the clock in that game. Fulham still lead 1-0 against Aston Villa. It is 64 minutes on the clock. Soon we'll take you to the lineup in the game between West Ham United as they get set to take on Everton. Yes, we'll bring you up to speed on the lineup right there in that game. And we're looking at what Chelsea should fix at this time. 5 managers gone on the Blue Co. And yes, Liam Rosenior the latest. But what do they need to fix? Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. My name is Samuel.
Go on.
Samuel, welcome.
Please, sir. What time was Chelsea want to play?
What?
What did you say?
Chelsea want to play.
I can.
What team? Chelsea? They are playing tomorrow. They are playing tomorrow. They're playing in the FA Cup tomorrow.
We play Leeds United.
They're playing against Leeds United in the FA Cup, and that will be tomorrow, not today. Okay? Yes, that game is for tomorrow and not today. Okay? Yes, just letting you know how things look right there ahead of that game. Let's go to other places, of course, and check out the results in the Championship. 1-1 in the game between Charlton Athletic and Hull City. Middlesbrough lead 3-1 against Watford. And Ipswich against West Bromwich Albion is still goalless after 63 minutes in that game. In League One, Doncaster Rovers trail 1-0 to Stevenage, and looks like there's a penalty. Is that Fulham have scored? But Michael Oliver, of course, is saying something else entirely. It looks like he doesn't accept. But Eyüpspor have taken the lead against Gaziantep, 1-0. Yes, Eyüpspor have taken the lead against Gaziantep in that game. Stockport County in League One lead 3-1 against Peterborough. Let's see. It was the goalkeeper who was shoving the player. How come that goal didn't stand? Okay, they were holding themselves, I guess. Grimsby against Swindon is 4-0. Grimsby lead in that game. And MK Dons lead 2-0 against Tranmere. Action, of course, in the championship. Fulham 2-0. Looks like the goal's going to count. But we'll wait to see what the final decision would be as far as this one is concerned, because Rosenior was the man who doubled the lead in this instance. But it looks like that's not going to count. Michael Oliver has got other ideas and he doesn't think that is a goal. Okay, yes, goal not given. Goal not given. VAR definitely checking that out, and it has been chalked off as play has restarted. Yes, play has restarted, and it stays 1-0. Fulham still leading, 67 minutes on the clock in that game. 090-44,089. We're looking at Chelsea and what they need to fix going forward. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, are you there? Okay, try to reach us again, and let's take your contribution on the show on Football Live. We've got some comments waiting for us. We'll get there soon to take them. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, my man.
Welcome.
You are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
One general calling from Abuja.
Okay.
Talking about Chelsea Football Club. Honestly. You know, they say a snake does not use what they use. The snake does not do what they know how to do. Woman go use and they fight for a road. That is why you go see snake go bite it. When you go bite you. This is what we know. Under Roman Abramovich, go for the best leg. When you come to coaching, just to go for one of the best coach in the world. Bad as it bad, they go for at least top 5 best coach in the world. Players, they go for top 5 or top 20 players, best 20 players in the world.
You can't look. You people sometimes be in touch with reality. There's no way you are going to sign 20 players in one transfer window.
I'm not talking about signing 20 players. I'm not even talking about size. I'm talking about best players. I'm talking about top 20, best 20 players. No, I'm not talking about signing 20 players. You don't understand me.
Okay. Make us understand you.
I think they go for. I think 50 signs at least top best 20 players in the world. I'm talking like you say top 10 best players. I'm not talking. I'm letting them sign 20 players. I'm talking about this one is not number 1, number 2, number 10, number 2. We should be top 20 in position. Do you get where I'm going? If they want to sign goalkeeper, they will sign at least top 20 best goalkeeper in the world. Left back, top 20 left back in the world. That is what is signing under Roman Abramovich in any department. But now, whenever Chelsea see a player that is under 20, whether it's a play ball, you know, it's a play ball, these people will go for him to sign him to cash him in the picture. And this thing is not working. And I don't even think that this thing will work, even though in the next 20 years, in any big club in England. If you want to do that, you go and buy all those small clubs, because the person that will not test trophy, no fit do that and continue winning trophy. Because those players will take 7 or 8 years before they adapt to English football. So for me, not only even starting coaches is the Chelsea problem. Chelsea problem is they need to go to drawing board and break that their drawing, scatter the drawing, buy another drawing board and bring another pattern of play, and bring a strategy of signing players, not only the policy of signing young players. They should child original players, I beg, and allow the coach to do his job. Thank you very much, lovely brother.
Okay, thank you for that one as well. And okay, I mean, the part where you talked about top quality players that should be going there sort of got me a bit confused, but I'm sure, of course, you want the best for your team. I'm Emmanuel from VI. I sincerely love those two teams fighting for relegation. It says, how I wish West Ham United don't get out of the Premier League just because of our Nigerian brother. All the best to West Ham United. Who's the Nigerian brother at West Ham United?
Maybe men's Fulham. Because we don't have any Nigerian
Fulham
brother.
has nothing at... they are not close to the relegation. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. President and F1. I really want Spurs to stay up, but I remember what Son did to us Arsenal fans against the City last 2 seasons. I want Spurs to go down and never come back. Ola from Ghana. You guys are wicked. This says, hi, Football Life crew. Adedeji from Ayo Boy says, it is pitiful to see a club like Tottenham Hotspur that recently played in this season's UEFA Champions League and qualified automatically without playing the playoffs. Yes, because they won the Europa League final against Man United. Struggle so terribly to the extent of going down to a second-tier league. It is really pathetic with such an array of stars in their team, and it is it's seemingly playing in the low. It's seemingly looking like they're going to play in the lower league. Might eventually be their reality, and their undoing is not far-fetched. It is due to the barrage of injuries that has ravaged their camp, and by extension, bro, they are important players. Almost more than half of the entire team are injured, and it's so pathetic. Okay, this one here says, good afternoon, John. He says, during Abramovich's time, Chelsea was a collection of stars, but now I don't know the caliber of players at Chelsea anymore. I don't think it has always been a collection of stars. Let's be honest. It has not always been a collection of stars.
It's always a balance.
The last set of guys who won the Champions League under
Tuchel,
Thomas Tuchel. Yes, the guys who won it. You cannot say those guys are a collection of stars. Yeah,
that team had N'Golo Kante,
Jorginho, Kai Havertz,
Mason
Mount.
I think Kepa was in goal.
Yes,
Kepa Arrizabalaga
was Mendy.
Okay, yeah. Edward Mendy was in goal. Edward Mendy was in goal.
Chalobah was playing centre back with Rudiger and
I think this guy, Reece James also.
Thiago Silva. Reece James was there as well. So I don't think it's always been a collection of stars. I can understand you have an era of Chelsea that you still have a soft spot for. You still fantasize about the quality of what you have.
So they were good players.
Era. Yes. So, but now I don't know the caliber of players that Chelsea have. This one says, well done, guys. Kajetan from Anambra says, Chelsea really needs to fix their centre backs, especially the way they are conceding goals. It is something that needs attention. Then also their attack. Most importantly, the way the club is being run by the board is a big problem, especially signing long-term contracts and they're sending too many young stars out on loan. Sometimes it feels like they don't know what they want. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much, Kajetan, for that one. This one here says, good day, guys. As a Chelsea fan, I can't make do with no trophies in 3 years. It says if we actually go into building a team, I can make do with 3 years, okay, if we actually make do with building a team. But Blueco are not building anything. There is presently no project worth waiting for from them. It says to build a team of young talent, you must have a limited amount to spend per player. These guys buy anything they see. Outrageous amount. Augustine from Anambra. Yes, this one is coming from you. This one here says, hi, VQ on F1. Bolan from Canada. It says, as for Chelsea, what they need to address is the balance. Get a mix of experience and youthfulness. And also, they need a manager with pedigree that can do beyond tactics. Because sometimes when players look at the dugout and they see a winner, I think that's enough motivation for them. He went on to contribute about the Spurs and the West Ham situation. He says, I think Spurs will be relegated, even though it's hard to believe, but I don't think they will survive because they are yet to win a single game in 2026. That's enough reason to go down to the championship. Yes, you are right. He says, I wish them well, but I don't see them escaping it. Maybe a win against Wolves today can help them. Okay. let's see how that goes. This one here says, Vicky and Femi, happy Sunday. No. Okay, it says Sunday is my name. Okay. Sunday is my name. And I want to ask, among the 4 wingers and Chelsea, Gittins, Garnacho, Neto, and Esteval, who do you think will be in Chelsea's Roman Abramovich era? Please, Vicky, help me with this. None of them. None. Take that to the bank. I'm not saying Esteval is not talented enough, but the talent is not what we are questioning right now. That any of these guys will be in that era. Even Maluda, who I feel was not the best of wingers during that time, was still giving the number of goals than any of these guys. Do they have the ceiling to say, okay, they can go higher than this and be better than this? Maybe, but they have to show that. And so far, they've not shown it, so I don't think so. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. Victor. It says, Chelsea need to sell like 4 of those kids, replace them with matured players that are experienced too. Though I understand some of these kids have 8 to 10 years contract. They can't do that. They should sign a coach that knows how to manage young players, even though that will not guarantee trophies. They need they made a serious mistake in the way they spend, especially in the last transfer. Chelsea need to suffer for bantering United. My name is Patrick. My brother, leave that in. Banter. You know the banter people. Okay. This one says, good afternoon, guys. He says, what Chelsea need to do to fix up? 1, get rid of the numerous of sporting directors. Yes. This is a very touchy one. Ebenezer from Ilorin, fantastic one. He says, get rid of the numerous sporting directors, because how do you have 4, 5, 3, 4
what are you using?
What are they directing sportingly? Yes, he said, get rid of the numerous sporting directors. He said, change the so-called project. Get rid of the players that want to go to Madrid and Barcelona. Let them go. And he says, reinforce the team. Sign proven players, not projects. Resist the urge to sign another baby coach. And do what you have to do again. The conversation about if Fabregas can weather the storm, if it is the guy, bring him on, let him do the job. I think if you have to bring on a guy like Cesc, which I do not have a problem with, is that you also have to give him time. At least 2 years. And if you're not going to do that, don't disgrace him.
Don't bring him.
Don't make his job too difficult for him. Just leave him alone. Iraola does not have a job at the moment. Tell him to design something for the future of the club, which the 1 or 2 sporting directors will buy into. Maybe you also need to look back and say, okay, you know what? One of these younger guys should work under a guy like Emenalo and try to bring him back. But will he leave Saudi now? The money at Saudi is very good, though. Yes, the Saudi money is very good.
It's good.
I don't think he will want to trouble himself with building projects anymore. He's the technical director of the entire Saudi Pro League. So to come and work for just one club might not be his thing. Especially as his children are already in the academy, and he would want an environment where they can do their job without being judged, whether it is their father that is favoring them.
Sure.
Good afternoon, guys. I will never feel pity for Tottenham Hotspur. They will never survive it, even if they beat Wolves. Henry from Maryland. Henry, what happened? Henry.
You can never make it.
Let's take some calls as we talk Chelsea this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Victor.
Yes, welcome.
I greet the other man in the
Yes,
welcome.
I hope you talk.
Welcome.
I know completely agree with there's some good players. There are some quality players in that team.
That's not what we are talking about. We didn't say their players are all bad.
Yes. Some people talk say them buy things.
Not before here. Talk what we talk. We say, what do they need to urgently fix?
They need to get person like Fabregas into the team. I know believe say it will take them 2 or 3 years. If he is a good coach, the man will see go take work, let them give you. Those guys get money to spend. Just demand. Chelsea is a big club. Maybe club where you go say give them 2 or 3 seasons to balance. No. If you are going to Chelsea as a coach, the first say you must start to deliver the results, or they go sack you, which you don't see, it don't happen many times. So if any coach where they come here, demand what you need. If they don't give you, resign. Come up for there. I'm telling you, because if you don't deliver results, you can't say they give you, I can't talk about projects that. Not the right with the coach. My case, they need to continue winning because they are spending huge amount of money. Thank you.
Well, first off, let me say something.
The campaign has started. They should bring Fabregas and now go first campaign again. Say they do the work.
Yeah. When we even say give the manager 2 seasons, right, to settle in, it not mean say the 2 seasons we will talk to make you give and say no go perform. What we are saying is that before you can then put an expectation of go and win the Champions League,
at least you have set a short-term goal
of go and win the Premier League. You must at least give him that time, to stabilize the team, to get the culture right, and then you can expect something from him. So not be saying you go to lose game. We'll come talk say okay because we say make they give him two seasons, maybe they don't come sack him. No, if the results are not coming, and you probably want to give him time, at the end of the day, you're going to have to let him go if the result is not coming. But what we're saying is that not be saying manager will come in first season, and they give him expectation of go and win the league. No, that's not reasonable. You probably can tell him go and make top 4 or make top 5.
See, on this same station, let me not even say it as if I have been on exile. This is where I work every day. We've had people who, after Chelsea did that comeback against what's their name, against Napoli. People were saying when you don't expect Chelsea is when they perform. This Rosenior can go and win the Champions League. That's how we did not rate Di Matteo. You people, sometimes you have to come down from your high horses, because you say these things and I think a lot of times you know what you are doing. You know what you are doing, but you always just want to be that guy who's right, and you will not own up to some certain things and say, oh, this is not good enough. The same you that will tear the entire Syria and say, oh, Syria is not good enough. Oh, they struggle too much there. It's the same you now that you're saying that the moment Fabregas comes to the Premier League, all that is going to change. And then if he doesn't, you say, while I think he's a promising coach, I will not trust him with this project. And that is not me saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying that he has done what he has done, and maybe you want to put him in a place where he needs to consolidate and see if he can take it a notch higher. I say that because the guy who took over Bournemouth just to get them out of the relegation waters, because all the coaches that were there before him, whether Scott Parker, whether Gary O'Neill, were guys who were flirting with relegation on a steady. And when he came, he lost his first 4 games and people were like, oh, how is this better? I mean, English coaches will not be given the opportunity to do the job, and that's why we trust guys like this who do not exactly have anything to show. He's lost his first 4 games, he's losing the 5th one, but the stability has come now, and 110 games after he took over that job, everybody's looking at him in a different way now, especially given the resources available to him. He's been able to manage things in such a way that you will not say that they are in a bad place. They are mid-table, yes, but I think that's how far the resources can go, especially when you have clubs like PSG getting Zubani, clubs like Man City plucking Semenyo and all of these guys. I think they may not be wrong with a guy like Iraola. The expectation is to first, again, it's not, I don't think it should be instant. 3 kinds of plans you want to go into. Long term, but before long term, let's have mid term, let's have short term. So if short term is, for instance, Chelsea misses out on Champions League football, and you say short term is to get us back there. If he achieves that, fine. Which means if he finishes top 4, top 5, good. Then mid-term can be one of the domestic trophies in 3 to 4 years, especially when you are backing him in every transfer window. If he does that within this time frame, you can say, okay, this is good enough. Can we now recruit a team that in 3-4 years they would have matured under the same guy, for the guy to now give us the sort of run that we expect? Yes, only one winner is going to emerge, but would it be a bad thing if you stay in the conversation for the title race season in, season out?
Yeah.
I think that's I think when it comes to conversations around Arsenal, it's not whether they can stay there, it's whether they can win it at the end of the day. Stay in power to make sure you cross the line. But you will look back now and say, oh, Klopp only did 1 in 9 years. Look at what he had to contend with with this Manchester City side, and how good they were, and all the other teams he had to contend with. But that's the reality. Without putting up defense for any side, you have to look at where the team should be and where you expect them to be. Because one other thing that will not exactly make sense is these players don't get Champions League football next season. Their agents start talking to clubs and they continue for where they left off last season, which is, oh, they have been talking about moving to Madrid, moving to this one, and and that starts looking like the reality of the team, and then it will look like, all the efforts to build a formidable team that should take the team from one level to another is now looking like wasted effort. So I think as much as we are looking at all of these things that we can do, Chelsea will have to first things first address where they want to be. Where they want to be is equally as important.
Yeah.
You tell yourself that, okay, we want to be among Europe's elite club. I think you've played yourself into that place, and anything short of that should not be entertained anymore. So, again, the ambition has to be good enough, and let it not be that, there's always the hunger to want to sell players and reinvest the money in the squad. At the end of the day, where is that going? If that does not have a clear path as to where it's going to take us, then let's stop wasting each other's time. 5 coaches have now been fired, and the only highlight we can talk about the project is that they won the Conference League, where they were heads and shoulders better than everybody else that played in that competition. In fact, Chelsea had to rotate and rested a good number of their first team players and played with their fringe players in the competition until the second half of the season, where they had to now bring in some players, and they played all the way to the final and won it. And then the Club World Cup. All these were under Maresca. There's no other indication that I expect another coach to put on the cards to say, I am the man for the job, like Maresca did within a short period of time at Chelsea. So, if such a guy could be let go, I don't think anybody who walks through that door as a coach of the side should be feeling cool that, I'm going to be the man who's going to be in charge and nobody's going to take that away from me. They will take it from you. They will. 87 minutes, Fulham lead Aston Villa 1-0 in that game, and I can tell you certainly that yes, both guys winding down the clock right now. 3 minutes to 90, and of course time will be added on. Palma taking on Pisa also. It is 13 minutes on the clock in that game. Lyon has kicked off their game against Auxerre as well. It is goalless after 13 minutes on the clock. Alaves still lead. Mallorca still lead against Alaves 1-0 in that game. 54 minutes on the clock. Eyüpspor, they lead 3-0 against Gaziantep in the Turkish Super League. Yes, 3-0 is the scoreline in that game as we speak. CSKA Sofia, they lead 1-0 against Levski Sofia in another game. Beijing Guoan 2. Yes, Tianjin Tiger 3. And Shanghai Port lead against Wuhan 3 Towns by 2-0. Action coming your way from the Chinese Super League. 88 minutes in the Premier League. It is still Fulham, the home team, who lead 1-0 in this fixture. Now let's go to the lineups of games coming through at this point in time, and let you know that Arthur Molyneux, yes, Wolverhampton Wanderers boss Rob Edwards makes 5 changes from the side who lost at Leeds United last weekend. Jose Sarr and Pedro Lima, as well as Matt Doherty and Rodrigo Gomes and Matheus Mane. Yes, they start for the host, who are already relegated at the Molyneux. So yes, it is Jose Sarr in goal, Doherty, Santiago Bueno and Totti Gomez. Yes, the 3 in defense. It is a midfield 4 of Pedro Lima, yes, Andre, as well as yes, João Gomez and yes, Hugo Bueno, Rodrigo Gomez and Mane are the 2 guys. Yes, Matheus Mane are the 2 guys playing right behind Armstrong, who leads the attack. Bentley Techua, as well as Olagunju Volfa, not forgetting Andre Gomez, Bellegarde, Edozie, Huang and Arokodare are the guys on the bench in this game. Jet Spence returns for Destiny Udogie in the Tottenham Hotspur's only change, yes, in their only change of this game. Tottenham are 18th and 2 points behind West Ham United, who also hosted Everton this afternoon and have not won in the Premier League since December. Okay, so yes, it is James Maddison on the bench again as he closes in on a return following a serious knee injury he suffered in August in pre-season. So Kingsley is the man in goal for them. Poro, Danso, Van de Ven, as well as Spence are the 4 in defense. It is Gallagher and Benton Soro, the 2 in front of the back 4, and you have Kolomoani, Yves Bissouma, as well as Xavi Simons. They play right behind Dominic Solanke, who leads the attack. Austin is on the bench. Dragoshin is there. So is Palinia, Richarlison, Madison, Matistel, yes, Archie Gray, as well as Lucas Berival and Souza. Yes, these are the guys for this Tottenham Hotspur side in this game as they look set to take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, we'll talk about that real soon. Let's go to the game between West Ham United. Yes, they are at home. West Ham are unchanged for the third successive game as Thomas Tuchel makes his 200th Premier League start. Yes, of course, in the colours of West Ham United. Hamilton is the man in goal. Kyle Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Desasi, and Malik Diouf are the four in defence. It is Fernandez, Souček, and Bowen. Yes, the three in the middle. Of course, you have Somerville, Pablo, and Tati. Yes, the three in the attack in this game. And of course, let's let you know that Ariola is on the bench. Wan-Bissaka is there, Scarls is there, Jean-Claire Todibo is there, Potts is there, Magasa, as well as Akante, Adama Traore, and Wilson. Everton are two changes. Yes, there are two changes for Everton with Etienne Obari and Michael Keane. Michael Keane. Yes, coming in. Yes, Michael Keane coming in. I beg your pardon. As they're coming in for Beto, who suffered a concussion, as well as Jared Bowen, who is out for the remainder of the season with a hamstring injury. So Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane, and Mikolenko. The four guys in defense. It is Ghana and Idrissa Ganagay, the two in front of the back four. Dwight McNeil, Dewsbury Hall, and Iliman Ndiaye. They play right behind the Tenobari, who leads the attack on the bench. Travers, Patterson, George, Tyler Diblin, Coleman, Alcaraz, Roll, Irwebunam, as well as Armstrong. Yes, these are the guys for this West Ham United side in this game as they take on, the guys for the Everton side as they take on West Ham United. Now, Freddie Woodman makes his first Premier League starter for Liverpool against the team he played for at youth level. And I'm talking about the fact that Liverpool have a Woodman in goal in this game. Jones is there, so he's Curtis Jones, Konate, Van Dijk, as well as Robertson. These are the four guys in defense. Of course, Woodman in goal. And let's let you know that Soboslai, McAllister, and Florian Wirtz are the three guys in the middle. Soboslai and McAllister are the two in front of the back four. It is Salah, Wirtz, and Gakpo. They play right behind Isak, who leads the attack in this game. McAllister returns to midfield in place of Ryan Gravenberg, who is on the bench in this game. And let's let you know that Alisson is not fully fit. Yes, is not fully fit. Alisson actually not fully fit, and still, of course, Way not fully recovered from an injury despite returning from one not too long ago. But let's, of course, let you know that Crystal Palace, this is the start of a big week for Crystal Palace, who play in the Conference League semi-final game on Thursday. Barcelona with Glasner recalls Jean-Philippe Mateta, as well as Ismail Assar and Adam Wharton and Daichi Kamada in the starting 11 as Palace, chase their fourth win over Liverpool this season. It is Henderson who is in goal, Richards, Lacroix, and Camvor, as well as Munoz, the four guys in defense. Kamada is there, so is Wharton and Tyrone Mitchell. And you have Johnson, Mateta, and Sarr. Yes, the three guys leading the attack. On the bench, Benitez, Klein, Riyad, Souza, Devaney, as well as Jefferson Lama, and not forgetting Will Hughes, Jeremy Pino, as well as Strand Larson. These are the guys for this Crystal Palace side. 3 p.m. kickoff. We're definitely counting down to it. The cards are definitely flying. For me, it is Newcastle United. Fulham, who still lead by 1-0. Let's let you know that Lyon have also taken the lead against Auxerre 1-0.
Well, I think that for Fulham against Villa, I think Fulham have taken these 3 points. I don't think that there's anything Aston Villa are going to throw at them anymore in this game. It was a game that I think Aston Villa didn't switch up to get to. I mean, this is some of the inconsistency that we talk about, when we talk about, Villa sometimes. As it stands right now for them, when you check the table, they're still fourth on the log. It's just that what they could have given themselves was to go ahead of United and have 61 points and wait till when United play on Monday. But United, I'm sure that they are happy with these results. As it stands right now, United can even afford to lose their next game. But then they can also not afford to lose, because there's Liverpool who, if they play also, they will be on 55 points. They'll be on 53 points. That would, they'll be on 58 points. I beg your pardon. That would be so close, to United, and United also probably don't want that, from a side like Liverpool. And the game is finished already, and for Villa, it's not a good outing for them. At the Craven Cottage, I didn't think that it was going to be an easy game, but I would have thought that they would have probably tried to even get a draw in it and just get away with 1 point and see what they can actually do with it. But this is a poor outing. This is not a good outing for them, considering the fact that they are going to be facing another Premier League side in the Europa League, come next week Thursday. But that's still a long time away for them to recover from this loss and see what they can do for it. But for Fulham, a good win for Fulham. For Fulham, where they are right now, they are 11th, they are 10th on the log. They have 48 points. They can begin to probably even dream of going to maybe the Conference League or something, depending on what the likes of Brentford, Chelsea, and Bournemouth who are ahead of them, and Brighton can actually do. But this was a good win for Fulham.
Okay, good win for Fulham. I can tell you that Yarem Chukas put Lyon ahead in the game against Auxerre, 1-0 in that game. And let's let you know that Parma against Pisa is goalless after 22 minutes of the action right there. Yes, Alaves have equalized against Mallorca. It is 1-1 in that game. And Noah have also equalized against Alashkert. It is 1-1 in that game. Brisbane Roar have equalized against Perth Glory. It is 1-1 in that game as well. Yes, results popping up in lots of these places as the action continues. In the Championship, goalless against between West Brom and Ipswich Town. And let's let you know that Stockport County in League 1, they lead 3-1. It is full time in that game against Peterborough. Doncaster Rovers against Stevenage is 1-1. In the Championship, Middlesbrough lead 95 minutes, 5-1 against Watford. And Charlton Athletic lead 2-1, 89 minutes against Hull City in another game in League 2. If we go there, Grimsby Town lead against Swindon by 4-0. And MK Dons lead against Tranmere by 3-0, 93 minutes on the clock in that fixture. Let's, of course, check out other places and see what the results are serving us. There is 1-1 Kisvara against DVTK in the Hungarian top flight. And yes, these are the games. Krisisla against Odabasi. It is 1-1, 68 minutes in that game right now. And yes, results from all the centers. I can tell you, Corona Kelce against GKS Katowice. GKS Katowice lead 1-0. Action right there. Rostov in the Russian top division against Orenburg, 95 minutes. Orenburg lead 1-0. And FC Botosani against Otalu Galati. Otalu Galati lead 1-0 also in their game right there. Of course, as it continues. Yes, we're taking you around all the grounds and bringing you the results of the games and matches taking place across different centers and what exactly is happening in those places. Yes, Pisa against Parma against Pisa. Yes, it is still goalless after 24 minutes of that game right there. Action in the Serie A. Okay, action in the Serie A. And we're still talking Chelsea, by the way. Yes, we've not lost sight of what the conversation is about as we're looking at Chelsea. What do you think Chelsea needs to fix as quickly as possible in order for them to get back to where it used to be? Because again, if you think it's a manager problem, I think managers will always come for audition, and after that one you get fired, another manager comes, he gets fired, and then the merry-go-round continues. But Chelsea needs to fix something. What is that thing Chelsea must fix if they are to banish all of these issues and put themselves on the path to being stable and being able to compete? 090-44,089. Here's the number to call to be a part of the show today. This one says Chelsea has so much work to do because it has depreciated beyond its original self. Who could have believed that Chelsea, the almighty Chelsea, would weaken to this degree? As a Chelsea fan, I suggest they should look for an experienced coach and buy experienced players. Most importantly, those in the inner circle should learn to manage information they share in the dressing room. Malachi Umar is my name. Okay, let's take this one from Adedeji from Ayo Boy says, for me, I guess both Chelsea and United are facing similar issues, and the issue is the board's decision. The current hierarchy at Chelsea are a bunch of jokers. You can imagine the kind of players and coaches that they are signing these days. Even Cole Palmer, that turns out to be the most valuable player, was a reject at Manchester City. They have totally forgotten their pedigree as one of the best clubs in England. So for me, if care is not taken, they might be rejected. They might be relegated next season, and the optics are not good enough for them. Yes, the optics are not good for them. The hierarchy of the club have the problem. So if the top is faulty, it would definitely affect the bottom. DDG from Iowa, this one is coming from you. This one says, I'm Emmanuel from VI. I'm a City fan. I love Chelsea because of its blue. The solution to that club now is to get more experienced players and a quality coach who knows what he is doing. Despite the fact that they have missed out with the one and only Enzo Maresca, well, I wish Chelsea Football Club all the very best. Okay, let's take some calls on the show. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
And your colleague, I agree.
Go on. Hear you.
I want to say my own opinion. The problem of Chelsea is not the coaches, it's the owner. So it don't happen now. What means I will contribute about what is on the ground as a topic? I want to advise them. Number one, employ experienced coach. If you want to go for a non-experienced coach, you're ready to give that coach 100% support. You cannot be a director, also be a coach. Let them nullify that particular place, because we know that they also be a director, also be a coach, and tell the coach who and who they will play. Also make sure that any coach that they wanted to employ, that the coach will have a say for each player that will come onto the club. They also give the coach the right, because when the coach have right to buy player, he will be able to have a petition for the dressing room. If you cannot have a say for umpire of the player, I do not have a say for the selection of the player, he will not have a mouth for inside the dressing room. The players will take you as a small picking. Even though the coach is a young coach, but if they give the coach the right to control the dressing room, everything will go okay. And they also notified win premiership. Let them give the coach the 2 years. Out of these 2 years, let them make sure that the coach qualify for Champions League before they will talk about winning premiership. I believe that if they come with that sort manner and sort agreement, the coach, anybody, Fabrica and co, they will be able to settle and cement their place for the club, and the club will be doing well. But if they fail to do that, they will do the way they did last one. My brother, they will continue to fall. Thank you very much. I'm a Chelsea fan. My name is Godwin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that one. Alaves have taken the lead against Mallorca. 2-1 it is right now. And the games have kicked off in the Bundesliga. FC Cologne against Bayer Leverkusen, 1 minute on the clock. Mainz against Bayern Munich, 1 minute on the clock as well. In the game between Wolfsburg and Mönchengladbach, it is also 1 minute on the clock. Yes, all games are just kicking off. A well-rotated Bayern side. Kubik in goal. Lima, Kim, Ito, Davis are the four guys in defense. It is Pavlovic and Ndiaye, the two in front of the back for Guerrero, Goretzka, Diaz, and Nicholas Jackson. Yes, these are the guys leading the attack for this Bayern side. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Yes, welcome.
Vicky, how you doing now?
I'm fine, thank you.
I greet you. Great job you are doing.
Great job too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Vicky,
Yeah.
this is Dave.
Okay.
You asked a question, what would they do? First of all, they have to fix their sporting director. For them to know, first of all, ask the owner what the club wants and how they go about it. Because it's not just about hiring the coach. We have seen some big coaches flop. We have seen some young players, young coaches, succeeded in this football that we have been following. So, Vicky, it's not just them looking for this one. They are talking about experienced coach. Let them first of all fix the team. Look for players to beef up that team. Vicky, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Go on.
Hear you.
We're listening to you. We can't be talking while you're talking.
Good player. Look for when you bring a coach. You see, let me tell you, I was telling one of my Man U friends, supporters. I said one of the best things that has happened to Tariq is because they surrounded him with experienced coaches. Sometimes you might bring a young coach, a coach that is growing. Surround that coach. Even a Guardiola himself, he went to bring an experienced coach that work with Jurgen Klopp from Liverpool to join him. So it's not just having only one head. The coaching is a lot of interaction. You need to have coaches that will surround you. So they still, even if they want to bring not too much profile coach, let them surround that coach. Let that coach surround himself with some quality coaches around him and buy good players to fix the problem they have. Because number one, none of the problem the Chelsea have now, even if you bring Guardiola to that team without fixing that defense line, that midfield is not properly fixed, and that wing, and even the striker is a suspect. They only can trust only one striker. Now another striker that's supposed to be like a support to the striker they have, they send him on loan. That's Jackson. So it's not just a coach. It's just to fix the problem. And it's not about this one that's saying experienced player. We have seen many experienced players with you. When young boys will be turning there, you see them falling. It's not experience with you. Because football is a mixture of the young and experience. Even that experience you're talking now, with many clubs now, they will tell you that those experiences within the range of 29, 30, 28. How many of the experienced players now you are seeing as backline that is 35, 36? So it's a lot of issues they need to fix, and they have to have patience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that one as well. Bundesliga, goals already going in. Heidenheim have taken the lead against St. Pauli, 1-0. And I can tell you that Auxerre have pecked back Lyon, 1-1. This one here says, Cineman, good afternoon to you. And F1, the problem of Chelsea is the owner. Let them change the ownership and return to Abramovich, UC Divine from Bahrain. They play, yeah? They play. It is na wishful thinking. This owner did not get this club for free. He paid money.
Could he?
So all this talk of bring back Abramovich and all the rest.
I think that Chelsea fans need to understand that I don't think Abramovich is ever coming back again.
You know those.
I think that there are people. A lot of people are still in that.
You know those
stage.
people of he says Alex TD. Now this type.
Don't go. How many years ago?
How for you? Says Alex or
See, you need to move on from. See, Roman is. Well, let me not talk as if I know what the future holds,
bro.
But he's never coming back again.
He's not. Until further notice.
If you come by another club,
until never notice.
If you come by another club again, make all of our shifts go there. But see this Chelsea, I don't think they come back again.
This thing don't pass. This is na English FA kick come out.
No.
You know the things.
There's a lot of things that happened.
You know the things will go down. Hello.
Hello, Vicky.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. This is Sam United from Michigan.
You're welcome.
Is that Femi with you?
Yes, Femi's here.
Femi, I agree with you. Good
afternoon.
For me, this stage of the team, the blame should go to those players. They are very, very lazy set of players. I have ever seen in this Premier League. Very, very lazy. They play like they are not playing with any passion. Even if you don't like former manager, like they even talk all this because like this, Malaysia was not sent. Some of them don't see like Malaysia when Malaysia shoot. This one won't come again. We don't see like who go playing in a father when don't coach now. All this one.
Take it easy, Vico.
No, like they tell me they don't like demand. They don't like demand. They don't like Azana. It's very easy to become a coach. Say the guy is a small boy. They ask, waiting come bring that age. Look at how many guys they do well. Come how many guys don't come well? You guys should play your game. You are paid for that. If they play on a play game, play your ball. You know what everybody they play with you like. If you don't go up, you don't come down, don't go up. You now. Like I'm not sure that team no get leader. You don't get leader in the street. They are aggressive. You know everybody they do as you like. I been another fan, but when you see they play this 5 game where they use that training, I don't get as they sound for my life. I don't see. I think it's easy to be this. You cannot even go good. You can lose though, even if you don't like the coach. Like why don't go go to your own self? Say you don't get no fire where you want to. When they sell all those boys, I carry them that out, or even though they have find better players, they won't move forward. That's my own. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us as far as this one is concerned. Yes, the action continues right here. Your Champion Star Sports Radio Brunei FM. I can tell you that Parma against Pisa. Yes, 38 minutes on the clock. It is a goalless affair right there. In the PSL in South Africa, Mazulu Trail 1-0 to Chipa United in another game. Yes, it is 1-0 right there. Okay, let's go to Shanghai Port, who lead 4-0 against Wuhan 3 Towns in another game. Yes. The only game currently taking place in the Chinese Super League. And of course, let's see if we can lay our hands on some of the other fixtures taking place in other parts. Other parts now lead 2-1 against Kizizla. Yes, in another game. But of course, that's coming all the way from Kazakhstan. Yes, let's check out. Okay, Otalu Galati still lead 1-0. Yes, they still lead 1-0. And that, of course, is the latest from that end. Yes, coming all the way from Romania. Okay, yes, all the way from Romania. It is Otalu Galati who lead 1-0, albeit they are the away side in this game. Lyon 1-1 against Auxerre, 40 minutes on the clock. And Pisa against Parma is just both teams actually stacking up corner kicks in this game. And no goals have been recorded so far. They've had 7 corners and it's just 38 minutes. 7 corners in this game. 2 teams who are, let's see, I think for Parma, it is looking really good for them in terms of surviving the season and staying as much as possible in the conversation. They've lost 2 of their last 5 games, winning 1 and drawing 2. They are 13th on the log behind Torino and ahead of Genoa and even Fiorentina. But Pisa are 19th on the log. They have 19 points. Okay. And that's the story right now as far as that one is concerned. Okay. Yes, a goalless affair in that game after 40 minutes. Yes, it is 40 minutes on the clock. And it is still goalless right there. And yes, of course, at some point, we will join, yes, John Kane and his team of reporters to bring you the international leg of Football Live, where they will take you around the grounds and bring you what the results and what the games are serving bit by bit, both in England, in Spain, in the Serie A, in Germany, all around the grounds where action is taking place. Yes, we've got you covered on Football Live. 82 minutes, Alaves are definitely still holding on against Mallorca, leading by 2-1 in that game. And yes, that I can tell you certainly, if it ends this way, Mallorca would have pushed themselves to 15th. Alaves will go to 15th, with Mallorca a point behind them. Haven't played same number of games. CSK Sofia versus Levski Sofia, 43 minutes on the clock. It is now 1-1. Levski Sofia have pulled an equalizer in the game. A well-rotated Bayern Munich side, you would understand. Of course, they have Paris Saint-Germain to play against in midweek, and you've won the title already, and you're in the final of the DFB Pokal. So what's the point to playing your strongest squad?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most sensible thing to do. Just, spin it around and see what you can do with the squad. You have probably the game of your life to play this incoming week. And so you want to do well to look at some of the players, who probably haven't had a lot of minutes this season, give them an opportunity to also, feature in a game like this, some sense of responsibility also and all of that. And from there you can, pick things up and see what you can do. So, but honestly speaking, I think that that's the right decision, for the manager to have taken. You're in the final already of the DFB Pokal. There's not so much more that you're fighting for in the league. The league is done already, so I mean.
And of course, we're talking about the Liverpool side who would at Anfield this time around play against Crystal Palace, a team that have beaten them 3 times this season, and there's every possibility that maybe Liverpool gets to win this one today.
Yeah, Liverpool, yes, can obviously win it. It's important for them to win actually, if they want to keep the hope of going to Europe next season. If they want to keep that hope alive, it's a game that they have to win. It's going to be a tough one for them. It's going to be a very, very tough game for them, but I think that they should be able to win that one and see what happens to them as the season continues.
Okay, and Mainz have taken the lead ahead of Bayern Munich, 1-0 after the first 15 minutes of the game. Mainz have taken the lead in the game right there. Action in the Serie A, 1-0. Mainz in front against Bayern Munich right there. It is Kohr, yes, Dominic Kohr, who has put Mainz in front in this game. Okay, yes, 1-0 the lead. Let's let you know that Amazulu have a drawn level against Chipa United. 1-1 is the scoreline right there. Almost half time. Yes, Lyon against Auxerre. It is still 1-1 in that game. Okay, yes, it's still 1-1 in that game. Levski Sofia have now taken the lead after drawing level against CSK Sofia. Yes, they have now taken the lead 2-1. The scoreline now in their favor as far as this fixture is concerned, and that I can certainly tell you it is now 2-1. Levski Sofia holding on to everything that they possibly can. A strong lineup by Wolverhampton Wanderers in terms of the changes that they made coming into this game. 4 changes were made, and they're up against the Tottenham Hotspur side. Yes, you know that these guys are already relegated, but it looks like they do not want to make it look like an easy shift for Tottenham Hotspur in this game.
If Tottenham does not win this game, let them just say bye-bye to it all. That's it. It's pretty simple. Win this game, you keep the hope alive.
Give yourself some hope.
That's it. If you cannot beat Wolves, I know you are playing at the Molineux and it's going to be a tough one, but you have to win. This is a game that you cannot afford to drop a single point. 1 point is useless to you.
You have to find a way to
you have to
grind out the 3
grind out the 3 points, even if it's 1-0, just to win the game and keep it moving.
Okay.
Else,
Okay, let's see how that goes, and if they will be able to win the game and keep it moving. This one is a lengthy message. What is this? So, did you give us exam? So says, good evening, top man in the studio. My name is Adams from Akoka. Firstly, the club should have a the club owners have to define their mission and immediate priorities. Are they after the money or after the values? After the club value? Okay. Well, I'm not sure what that means, but are they after the money or are they after the progress of the club? Maybe. In this case, are we supposed to be asking these guys this now? This one says, if they want to build on that foundation that they are doing, on what they are doing right now, well, it looks good. What quality material are they planning to build on? What the level at which the football fans are now, no owner can come in and start fooling anymore. The whole Chelsea problem cycle around the club owner, and he must what they must do in the best of all departments is for both the field, on field, and the off. Now you're confusing me, please. He says, imagine a team aiming for the UCL, and the EPL, going for Ipswich striker who has just 20 goals in 68 games in 2 seasons, and then later went to Strasbourg to bring a manager who was 7th in the league. Please, things like these are below Chelsea standard. The owner knows what to do, and that is to get the standard and the staff, and not just bringing in cowards to the club. Bros, waiting. You and the people they quarrel before. What do you mean bringing cowards to the club? Please take it easy. Everyone is angry about this whole thing, but just take it easy. Says, I think really, when people talk about this, the owners should tell us they should define what they want. If they are focused on trophies or they are focused on whether you are making profit or not, you still have to focus on trophies.
Yeah.
And you still have to stay competitive as much as possible, because again, if you stay competitive, then the chances of winning a trophy is good. But if you do not, that becomes a different conversation of what people would say about what you're not doing right, what you're doing right, and stuff like that. But I think that whether these guys have decided in their minds that they are not interested in trophies, we may never know. We may never know, not because they will not celebrate when trophies come, but if they have decided to say that they want to focus on profit, which means they are not investing the sort of quality that will see the team compete, we may never know, because they won't come out and tell you the focus is no longer trophies. I discourage a lot of fans.
I'll also say this, right? I will also say that for Chelsea fans generally, I think that, and this is no disrespect to them, right? But I think that with the former owner, which is Roman Abramovich, I think that Chelsea fans are like spoiled brat financially.
Well, they had all the players they asked for. And
so I think that some of them are also not understanding that this is business now.
Prima donna.
So these ones, these American owners, they are businessmen.
They were over pampered, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I actually
sort of got used to.
The winning there. You know, once it's not working, you fix it with money. You just,
which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but now you are coming back to reality.
Until Take Shinawatra came, Wigan Athletic were beating Man City home and away for like 4 straight seasons, and we don't want to have that conversation now, because one is in League One and one are almost champions of England. So it's not something you want to get involved in and talk about it on a consistent basis. And but I think that with all that we have seen so far, there needs to be some sort of change that would make people understand that even if the strategy has changed, there's a direction the club is going.
Yeah, we still want to win trophies. Yes. It just means that now we are not going to splash unnecessarily. We will do proper business. What we bring in is what we spend. There's not going to be you will still, at the end of the day, you're still going to invest in the team at the end of the day, but you're not going to go and just bring money and just say, since it's not working, let's just fix it with money. No, you go through process and all of that. At the end of the day, I don't think that a reasonable Chelsea fan is against the fact that there's a new order in town and there's a new owner. What they are against is the project itself. That project of bringing in any shining toy from one new any club, bring them in as young as they might be, just bring them in, and you're expecting them to
for
to
me
fly high.
that makes it look directionless, but it doesn't change the fact that projects usually take time, and if it goes well, that's when people would applaud some of these things. But again, this one is not showing clearly the direction he wants to go. And
because under this project, at least 3 managers are gone.
We just counted 5.
Oh, okay. You're even counting from.
Just counted 5.
You're counting from way back. Actually,
yes.
I was actually just looking at the recent, Pochettino and what's it called? Maresca and Liam. I just wanted to look at those 3, but honestly, I mean 5 actually.
So if you're looking at that, I think there's every need for people to show concern and be worried about. I think again, especially after the losses that came recently and the manner in which they lost those games without a fight back, you would expect that even if your plan was to sell those players for big money, somebody somewhere is thinking these guys cannot even put up a fight in a game against.
I've said it countless of times that if you want to sell these guys for big money, they have to be performing.
Yes, because
there's no way they are not performing and you want to sell them for big money. Who does that? Nobody buys that because you go and buy players who are not performing in their own club and bring them to your own club, and you think other people too are going to do the same. Like you said, you went to go and bring Pedronato who was not even doing 10 goals a season, and then he's probably doing 6 goals a season, and you're saying, oh, he's doing well. But some people will not buy him from you.
Again, I like situations where scouts are sure of what they want and sporting directors and scouts can reach an agreement and draw a conclusion as quickly as possible. But in situations where some players perform and you just think that, okay, this performance is good, but he needs to replicate it next season, I think that works for me better than, this person, he had a great performance, so let's block him now. That's the thing I saw with Yaro Hato and Bino Gittins. For Estevao, I think he's a talented player, but he will need to bulk up a lot. He will need to bulk up. Probably would want to send him somewhere in France or send him somewhere in Germany and let him break in more experience and then come back to the side. Because sometimes we now look at the talent of the player and use it to match. He better pass this person. He better pass this person with the.
Nobody better with the chop now.
But fitting in becomes a problem. This guy, I don't remember him doing 10 straight games across all competitions. And
this season,
he's
not. I don't think he's done 7.
And then there are concerns that he might be even out of the World Cup right now with the latest injury that he has suffered. He's out for the rest of the season for the club, and there are concerns that he might not make the World Cup for Brazil. So these are some of the concerns